Alright, hello everyone, it's Teamrocketdraws here with another Pokemon drawing tutorial. And for this video guys, we're going to be drawing another legendary Pokemon. We're going to be drawing Mega Mewtwo. Why? So as you guys can see on screen, this is how he ends up looking like. So if you guys want to learn how to draw him, then let's get started. I'm also going to put up a reference right now on screen that was easier for you guys to draw. And at the same time, you guys will get all your details. Just keep in mind guys that he's not going to end up looking like the reference 100%, but we do end up pretty close. Yeah, so first of all, if you guys seen my other tutorials, make sure to go check them out. We're gonna start off by a few like reference shapes, rough shapes, and then from there on we're gonna do the final drawing. Alright, so first we're gonna do this like sideways oval shape guys, and just try to do it as close as you can to the way that I have it here, just because we are gonna base almost everything off this circle. So the better that you make it and the right angle, the easier it's gonna be for the end of the tutorial. Here we go. And I recommend to round off like the edges like as much as you can. For example here, at the end actually go back and round off those a little bit more, but it's fine guys, like it's not like a big thing, but we could always like make any changes later on. Alright, so first we're gonna do this line going down the middle, and then we're gonna do the same thing on both sides. There we go. And these lines are just to help us guys. These are the lines that are just gonna help us place everything else. So don't get like don't let these lines like confuse you and all that. Not confused, but like, yeah, I guess confused, because if you see so many lines, you tend to be a little bit confused and you don't know what's what. But just keep in mind those lines are just there to help us. Alright, so now around here at the middle guys, we're gonna do this like worm shape. So it's basically around half of the bottom part, as I pointed out there, and then it just goes up to around here. So you guys can use those reference lines that we did it going in between or like across the oval shape to help you guys. So now we're gonna go about there, and I'm just pointing out that it's a little bit smaller than the one at the top. The gap is from that to the outside of the oval line, or the circle, the oval. And now we're gonna do another line at the bottom following this one right here. So it's kind of like you guys will see right now. See, this one's a lot thinner, it's a lot closer to the edge of the oval, and then it just connects to around there. And just try to make it like work with it, like make it smooth, make the curve smooth as much as you can. And if you guys don't pay attention to those lines going across the oval shape, you guys can see maybe like a worm shape, the top being the head, like the first thing that we started, it being the head. So hopefully you guys know what I'm talking about. Alright, so basically that's the head guys, that's the head and part of his tail. Alright, so now around here, like almost in the middle of the oval shape, we're gonna do this shape right here, and this one goes in between here, in between that, like the tail basically, and it goes to around here. So this is where I said it might be a little bit confusing, but just remember that those lines are there to help us, not like those are not for anything. There we go. So it's just this basic shape guys, and basically that's gonna be the palm. If you guys look at the reference, it's like his palm. And now we're gonna do a reference line going down on the side of that shape, and then we're gonna do another reference line going on the other side, and that's basically gonna give us the shape to do his what is it, his waist, like where his legs come off. So if you guys notice there, just do them light, that way they're easy to erase. And this one actually goes a little bit over the tail right there, the worm shape that we were talking about, and it should be a little bit smaller than the palm, than the shape we did at the top. So you guys could do them the same shape, but it should be a little bit smaller. And it's just a circle. Now that we did that, we could erase these extra reference lines that we used. That's just there to make it a little bit easier for everybody, so I recommend doing those. Alright, so now that we have that guys, we're gonna start off right here, like basically in the middle of the head of that worm shape. We're gonna start right in the middle, and then around here we're just gonna curve out. So just look at the gap in between that. I'll show you guys in a little bit. I'm gonna point it out so that it just goes up like this a little bit. It kind of makes like this hook. So just to pick this gap right here, so just look at how far it is from that line right there going in the middle. So now we're gonna do another one, and this one's gonna get a lot closer to that middle line, and it's gonna basically follow the same shape, like almost the same curve. And if you guys look at the reference, that's basically the thing going around his head, where the ear starts. That's what that's gonna be. And exactly leveled where we started that, we're gonna start his ear. So this one basically gets a straight line going out, and then it goes over the head a little bit, and then it comes back down to around here. This might take us a couple tries, just because it's really easy to make the ear either too small or too big. Alright, so now exactly at the same level as where the ear ended, we're gonna start the other one. So this one comes out a little bit higher than the other one, and then it basically connects to the face, to like the front of the shape. There we go. Now we could erase some of these lines just because, yeah, it could be a little bit confusing, guys. So I'm sorry if you guys are having trouble. Alright, so now we're gonna do this line right here. It's basically connected to the palm, to the to that circle. That's basically his body, the back of his body, his back. And now right here I'm just erasing some of the those lines in between the circle, just because we don't need them anymore. Actually, we do need them later, so don't erase them, guys. Don't erase those lines going across, please don't, because in the end I actually need them to do the fingers. So I recommend that you guys leave them right there. I erase them, but please don't erase them, because we are gonna need them in just a little bit. Alright, so now that we have that, we can start and to finish his like what is it, his ring. I'm gonna call it a ring. And that one starts basically where the other ear starts, and then it just connects to the top right there. There we go. And it might take you guys a couple tries, because I know it did to me. If it doesn't add up right, then you guys could always make any changes. For example, right there, I had to erase like the inside of the circle just so it could look right. So just because we're doing all these shapes and all this stuff doesn't mean we need to have them there, or like it's supposed to stay there. We could always just make everything work with each other. So we might start off something one way, and then later on we need to we do another thing, and then we're gonna have to change the first thing that we did. So it's just having work with each other. Alright, so now to do the eye, right here I actually do it too big, so I do go back and erase it in just a little bit. There we go. Yeah, so basically in between that, from that line to the outside of that shape, we're just gonna, that's how big we're gonna do the eye. And don't do it that big, guys, because there's a fair gap in between the eye and the nose. Alright, so now that we have that, we could do the fingers. So the fingers are fairly easy. We're just gonna do basic shapes. So a little bit higher than that circle that we did for his waist. We're gonna do another one, and just look where this one like connects, like where it goes over. So it goes over the palm a little bit, and it look at the gap between that, as I'm pointing out right there. And now we're gonna do another one, and this one is, they're gonna be basically the same size, but these at the top are not gonna be circles. So this is where I redraw those lines, just to make it easier on you guys on where they're supposed to be placed. Alright, so starting around here, we're just gonna do it, and this one's gonna go up to that line at the top of his like head, of the oval shape that we did at the beginning. And this one kind of has that like bean shape. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. It might take us a couple tries to do it, but look at the reference. That's why I put it up there. Just try to get that shape in there. So it's not supposed to go beyond that oval that we did at the beginning. Now to do the other one, and this one, try to do this one. This one does go outside of the oval shape, but just try to make it the same size as the other two. If you guys notice, the first one is kind of like a circle, and it's a lot smaller than the top two. But if you guys look at the reference, that's how it is. So just try to like stay consistent to the shapes, the size of the shapes, that is. Alright, so now to do one of the legs. So around the middle, we're basically cutting off the middle of that circle, and we're gonna go this way, and we're gonna do this almost like a C shape. And this is probably one of the things that you guys might have to work on later on once we do the final sketch. Just because just getting the right shape of his legs a little bit hard, but just doing it this way, just having like a simple shape like this is gonna help us just place everything, and then from there we could like morph the leg a little bit any way that we want. Now to the other one is basically going to the left of that, and then it follows the same shape of the oval shape that we did at the beginning. And then it just connects. So right here, I don't like where it ends up, because if you guys look right here, it goes way further than the face. And if you guys look at the reference, it's actually like the knee is like right under the nose. So that's where I change it. So right here, I'm just seeing the size of them. And I just decided to change that just because it was going a lot further. So I kind of changed the angle of this line right here at the top. And then I basically just try to I thin it out as I get to the knee. Because remember guys, even though we're using the reference right there, like we're copying it basically, you could say, it doesn't mean that it has to be the same. So when you see something in your drawing that you could change just to make your drawing a little bit better, then go for it. Because if, for example, right there, I try to do it the same as I had it before, it was gonna look a little bit awkward. So just make any changes to your drawing. You don't have to follow me. You don't have to follow the reference. As long as you're making your drawing better, then you can make any changes that you guys want. All right. So now to do his like shoulder, it's gonna be around here. So just use those lines going across the oval shape to help you guys place this. But it's at the same level of where the ring is, like it starts, and then it just connects to around a little bit higher than the middle of the palm. And then right here where the finger meets the palm, it has just a line right there. And then basically around here, the same level as the ear, we're just gonna do these like curved lines, and then they're gonna meet up in the middle, as you guys see me doing there. So in between the finger and the bottom of his face right there, just like do this right here. And then he has like his shoulder coming out a little bit on the other side, so we could just add that. If you guys look at the reference, you guys will see what I'm talking about and what we're trying to do. Alright, so now to do his feet. So his feet, we're gonna start off once again by doing these like shapes first, these like rough shapes. So it's basically the same length as his legs, his thigh. So just try to do that. And the same thing on this side. This one, now that I'm looking at it, I think I make mine the same, like on the same level. So the left leg and the left foot and the right foot are in the same level. But if you guys look at the reference, the right like foot is a lot lower than the left. So I don't know how, if you guys want to do it like the reference or do it like me, where I just make them the same size, the same like length. Because I don't know, I didn't notice that, to be honest, when I was doing the drawing. So there's a lot of things that are not gonna add up, guys. So that's why I said at the beginning, it's not gonna be exactly the same, but we do end up getting pretty close. So right now I'm just looking at my tablet because I have the reference on my tablet, and I'm just looking at it and I'm trying to see how I'm gonna do his feet, his toes. So I noticed that they go a lot lower than this. So I guess around here it's just gonna go down. And if you guys look at them, they kind of look like those jelly beans, the shape of jelly beans, or at least that's what I was like, the shape I was trying to do when I was doing them. It's just a jelly bean shape or like a bean shape, like I don't know, guys. And it goes a lot lower and it goes around here, and this one's gonna be the biggest one. It looks kind of like a nail now that I'm looking at it. It's okay though. So now around the same level on this side, we're gonna start the other one, and this one has more of like a seed shape. So it's round at the bottom, and then it kind of ends like at a point at the top, almost like an egg shape, I guess. But it's a lot smaller than the other one, and then the other one we could barely see it on the other side, so I just had it right there. Alright, so now for this one, the shape is a lot bigger. If you guys look at the reference, this one's almost like 3 times the size of the other one, just because it is closer to us. but I do it just a little bit bigger than the actual reference, or I mean the other one that I did. So right now I'm trying to figure out what's the best way of like doing it, and then as soon as I do this line right here, I figure out a good way. So I erase it right now, just so I could show you guys an easier way to do it. So right there I had it and I liked how it looked, but just to help you guys do it and make it a little bit easier, I'm gonna show you. So basically we're gonna do this like oval shape inside of that shape right there, and then we're just gonna extend that, and then just go a little bit more to the right, like make the bottom a little bit more bigger, more thicker than the top. And there we go, guys, we basically got that foot down. And then he has another one over here, and this one looks more like a seed, like the shape of a seed, and just try to make it almost like half of the size of the bigger one. And then we could see a little bit of the other one on the other side. See, like right there, guys, like mine, that one compared to the one on the other foot are almost the same size. It's just a little bit bigger, but compared to the reference where the right one is way bigger than the one on the left, that's a big difference, guys. But just seeing it on my drawing, on my sketch, it doesn't make like a big change. It doesn't look weird in other ways. So you guys could just do it the way I have it, or you guys could do it like the reference if you guys want to stay a little bit closer to the actual reference. And right here we're just following that shape from the worm that we did at the beginning using the oval shape. And now we're just gonna do this like this oval shape, another one, a smaller one, and this is basically gonna be the end of his tail. I think I do mine way bigger. I should have done it maybe half the size, or just a lot smaller, but like I said, it doesn't really matter. And then we're just gonna connect it to that line right here. And then we're just gonna do the other side of the tail, and it should basically meet up with this one right here, with the oval shape, the outside of the oval shape that we did at the beginning. So that's why I said, guys, it might be a little bit confusing just having so many lines, but we're gonna start erasing some of them just to make it a little bit easier on the eyes. So for example, inside of the fingers, or the fingers, there's nothing there, so we don't need those no more. Since we already have them there, we could erase those. We could erase this one right here on his leg, just because it's just basically confusing us a little bit, so we don't need that one. We don't need to connect this one right here, and we're just erasing all those lines that are not connected, all those shapes where it's not supposed to have a line. So that's what I'm doing right now, just to make it a little bit easier for us to look at. And the same for you guys, that way you guys see, like, erase some of those lines, so just get rid of them so you're not like too confused. So for example, right there, the ears are not connected, so we could just erase that. This one right here from the oval shape, we don't need that one. Inside of this ear, the point right there was a line going through it. This one right here, same as that, like the cross that we did in the middle, where we did in the middle of the oval shape. Right here in the palm, we could erase that one. We don't need it no more. So we could just get rid of a lot of lines now, guys. And now that we're getting rid of them, we could actually start seeing Mewtwo as he's supposed to be. So just erasing those right there. So just look at the reference and see what's connected to what. For example, his head right there where his neck is. I haven't erased it yet, but if you guys look at the reference, the line is not connected. Right there, I actually go over it, but I go back then later, and I like basically erase part of it because it's not connected. So right here I'm just looking at the shape of everything. So for example, that just because we did that shape at the beginning doesn't mean that it's supposed to stay like that. For example, this finger right here that I'm doing is not a circle, it's more of like a jelly bean shape or a bean shape. So you guys, just knowing where it's placed, you guys can make any changes to it now. Now that you guys if you guys like the size of it and where it's placed, you guys could just work with the lines and the shape a little bit more. For example, there's another line right there for the other side of his body, and then this part of right there, it's not a circle, so I do erasing it just a little bit. Now for his eye, so this one's not connected, like right in the middle. It's a small gap, but there's like another like eye in the inside, and then look at the reference, guys, just to get a better idea of what I'm talking about, because it's kind of hard to explain stuff. So I imagine it's like I'm confusing you. The ear. Alright, so then I noticed that his nose, so right here, we're supposed to work a little bit up on this shape right here because it's not completely round like that. He does have a nose, and then it kind of goes into his brow. So let's work on this a little bit. So that's the whole point now, guys. It's just making any small changes right there. I didn't like how it looked, so I'm just gonna redo it again. Do the shape like this, and then it kind of like ends at a point almost. It goes up. It kind of follows the same line of the ear that we did earlier, but then it kind of goes like it does like a bump, and then it connects to the ear. I don't know if I'm explaining myself, but if you guys look at the reference, you guys will see what I'm talking about. And then I just start adding small details. For example, I erase, I think, like I said before, the neck area, because the line is not connected like that. So I do erase it into, yeah, this is where I erase it. So it's not connected, so I do erase that. So it's just about looking at the reference and going over your sketch, guys, and just doing all those small details, erasing those lines that are not supposed to be there, adding any small details that are. For example, right here, we're supposed to do the other side of his hand. So that's one figure right there that comes out like right in the middle of the ear, and then there's another one over here. And then it has basically his palm that connects in between those two. And there we go. That's basically his other arm, or his other hand. So now for this side of his shape. So like I said before, this is not a complete circle. So you guys are gonna want to work on this. If you guys look at the reference, it's not a circle. It has these like straight lines almost. So just work on it a little bit. You guys don't have to follow me 100%. Like I said, just looking at the reference, you guys will get maybe a better idea than hearing me say or me doing it. There's another small detail right there on his palm, right here as well. And slowly, guys, we're starting to have our finished drawing or sketch, how mine is. I do change this one a little bit later on because I don't like the curve of his tail coming out of his head. On mine, it seems like it's a little bit stiff, so I do extend the line a little bit more away from his palm. And you guys could do that as well, as long as it connects all the way through. As long as the tail doesn't look weird, it doesn't, like, for example, come off way lower than it's supposed to, you know. As long as it looks right, you guys could change the tail any way that you guys want. Right here, just working a little bit on the shape of that finger. And we basically got our outline, guys. See, just by erasing some lines, it just kind of cleared the image a little bit, and it just gave us our final drawing, our final product. So right here, I didn't like how that looked, so I do erase it, and I just work a little bit on the shape a little bit. So you guys might have done it perfect the first time, or maybe you guys are not happy with it. Maybe you guys could do a better job. Then go for it. Like, this is the whole point of the process from here on. It's just making any changes to improve your drawing, because we got a basic shape of them. Now it's just perfecting that shape. It's kind of like clay, guys. Like, you know, you start off maybe with a circle around a ball, and then you slowly start like moving stuff, you know, like adding more to it. So this is basically that clay. You know, we have the shape of it. Now it's just about like making any small changes to it. If something doesn't look right, we could just work on that now that we have an overall like sketch of it. feel like I'm repeating myself, so I'm sorry. So right here I noticed that this leg is actually a little bit lower, where it connects to this right here, so I do extend the leg a little bit lower. So this is his back right there. I do work on that shape of that leg right there, that thigh. I do work on it in a little bit. And basically that's it, guys. So from here on, you guys could do anything you guys want, but something that I like to do personally is just erase the drawing. Even though I'm erasing it, I can still see the lines a little bit, and then I just go over them and just make my final changes there. And the reason I do this is just so I could have like a cleaner like a final drawing, like a cleaner drawing. And yeah, this is where I'm making any changes. So right here I'm just showing you guys me doing like the final outline of Mewtwo. So this is where I make any small changes that I didn't have before. And then I did outline it in pen, as you guys see here, and I just added those small details and everything. So this is my final outline, guys. You guys could base yours off that one, or you guys could just use the reference. But I do end up coloring him. I'm not that good at coloring, guys, but I use my Copics markers, and I just use 2 different purples and then 2 different grays. So I use this one for the shadows, and then a lighter one for the color of them overall. I think it came out okay. It's not the right purple. If you guys notice, mine's a lot like darker, a lot like cooler. On the reference, it's a lot warmer, like the purple's a lot warmer, but I think it still looks okay, still looks cool, and overall I'm happy with it. I really like how it turned out. The eye, I colored him in like orange, and then I just used gel pen, a white gel pen, just to do the small highlight on his eye. The same thing on his tail, like on the circle, the oval shape that we did at the end of his tail. I did that as well there. And then I just left some areas white, like paper white. For example, at the top of his head, between his ears, there's like a white spot right there that I just didn't go over with anything, just so we could add like a little bit more detail, you know, like a little bit more highlight or something like that. I did the same thing on one of his legs, the one on the right. If you guys notice, on the left side it's kind of like a white line. I just left that like that. And overall I'm happy with it, guys. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to leave a like and to subscribe for more videos. And if you guys always have that option to send in your drawings, so the links will be in the description to my email and my Twitter, where you guys can share them with me, and I'll be happy to post them on the future drawing tutorials that I do, like the ones you saw at the beginning of this video. Yeah, guys, so I just want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more videos, and I guess I'll just catch you guys on the next one. Team Rocket Draws out.